My name is Andrew Wamkota, based in Kenya. I work at Kenya University as a senior lecturer, senior research associate. I am also involved in the fishery aspects of the Fish Innovation Lab. The Fish Innovation Lab is currently funding several projects in the East African region. Most of the projects actually relate to aspects related to nutrition and livelihoods. So, for example, we have a project in Kenya, which is the Samaki Salama project, that seeks to address issues of malnutrition. Secondly, the Fish Innovation Lab is also working in Kenya to address issues that align with the fisheries habitats, the coral reefs, considering that they support huge numbers of households. Apart from that, the Fisheries Innovation Lab is also funding projects that are very similar to nutrition and household food security in Zambia, the Fish First Zambia project, but also working to develop a sustainable aquaculture in terms of providing vaccines for fish that can sustain vulnerable groups, women, fishermen, some fishermen, and also the infants. The different projects are trying different strategies or interventions in different countries in order to be able to tackle the challenge.
I'm Austin Humphreys, Associate Professor at the University of Rhode Island. I work at the Fish Innovation Lab as the East Africa Regional Coordinator. I think quite simply, the Fish Innovation Lab and what we're doing in East Africa is really working to break the cycle of poverty, hunger, and malnutrition. How we do that looks different from project to project, but we're essentially looking to provide interventions or facilitate interventions that break this vicious cycle of poverty and hunger. A number of projects address different aspects of this problem, whereas together as a whole, the Fish Innovation Lab is creating a multifaceted approach. So there are a couple examples where these projects, their results aid or build into the conversation, the global conversation of solutions to food security, poverty, and malnutrition problems. One example is a project in Zambia where the team is characterizing the numbers of invasive crayfish that are entering a watershed, which reduce the amount of food availability and compete for resources with native crayfish populations, which are harvested for food products in the area. So what that is doing is essentially characterizing the environmental contribution of this invasive species to the food availability aspect. There are aspects of these projects that are testing solutions to global scale problems in very localized way. And the lessons learned from these localized projects can contribute to the global conversations around what works and what doesn't, when, where, and why. Thinking about how to produce fish from aquaculture farms, both inland and in the ocean, sustainably and equitably is important as we go forward in thinking about aquatic food production and food security. And I think small-scale fishers and small-scale farmers are important to these conversations because they represent marginalized or ignored group and impact livelihoods greatly. So I think, we're, as a Fish Innovation Lab, trying to work hand in hand with partner countries and stakeholders to break this poverty cycle and improve nutrition and reduce hunger for the most vulnerable populations.